Another thing that's been popping up in this last 24 hours, I don't know if you guys have caught it, is Adam Thielen back home, for the summertime. He was I saw him playing some football, and he was catching passes from a guy that looked really familiar.
Trade a third rounder for him. Let's get him back, Mr. Minnesota.
I didn't mean that to sound dumb. My bad. I'm still learning these controls. But yes, Adam Thielen was playing some ball with JJ McCarthy.
Digging it.
Like, look at that throw. That throw right there.
First, thought when you saw this, Adam Thielen's the one who posted this, by the way. What are your thoughts about this?
Unburn that bridge.
Unburn the bridge.
My wife didn't mean all the mean and nasty things she said last year.
Yeah.
I know my role. I know I'm an $8.5 million a year wide receiver 3 now. I love Minnesota.
Do you think there's some of that?
Yeah, I think he loves Minnesota. He grew up in Minnesota. It's just I feel like towards the end of Kirk's career, Kirk always had a problem where he wants to force feed one receiver because it's easier to just focus on one weapon rather than trying to spread the ball out. So if Thielen wasn't getting 2-3 yards of separation, Kirk's going to just force feed the number one receiver, who was Justin Jefferson at the time. And then we had the problem where, if Adam Thielen's not putting up the yards that he did before, we're not going to pay him. What was his contract? 20-something million?
$64 million over 4 years.
The other one, we owed him $18 or $20 million, and we weren't going to pay him that.
He wasn't going to pay that. So when he did that 1 year so far with the Panthers, he showed that he still kind of got something in the tank, and he'd be a perfect reliable target for a young quarterback like JJ McCarthy. So I wouldn't mind it. It's just, are the Panthers going to cut him? Or if we have to trade for him, what would we trade for him? Because we barely got picks as it is right now.
2025 6-rounder. I mean, I think at this point they're going to trade him. They're not really looking to get anything for him. It's just kind of just moving on, kind of doing him a favor. So I do think they are going to trade him. So what do you think, Rinaldi? Do you think there was some intention with him out there playing with JJ? And Cashman was out there too with them. So he's out there playing with 2 Vikings. Yes, I know.
I didn't see it.
So he's back home. I know you did it.
Yeah, look, man. I don't. Is there something to it, man? It makes you want to hope so. I love the hope factor to it. I do not think there's a whole lot to it. But for my first reaction to your point, my first reaction was, let's look up Thielen's contract, right? And he's due $5 million this year. But if they release him, there's also another $9 million to the cap. That might be more than they're willing to swallow to let him go. I think we pay that $5 million all day with the 27 we have. He'd fit in great. There's no way you can rely on, and I don't take this the wrong way, guys. I'm not trying to be negative Nancy, but there's just, if anybody really thinks that your number 1 and number 2 receiver are going to play all 17 games, that doesn't make sense. If that's your plan, you're an idiot, right? Thielen will be a perfect guy to put in that number 3 spot, and to, he'll have spot starts because it's going to happen, right? And I'm not wishing badly on the top 2. He would fit perfectly. He would fit perfectly for the fan base. He would fit perfectly for everybody. I just don't know that the Panthers are willing to take that cap hit. If there's a way around it, man, it would be a beautiful reunion.
I mean, the Panthers aren't really paying anybody too much money, so I mean, I don't think it's really going to hurt them that much. But no, you're absolutely right. It's crazy in this day to think that receivers or skill players are going to play every game, which is the big reason that I wanted Powell back. It wasn't necessarily I wanted Powell to come back and be wide receiver 3. I wanted him to come back so he could be wide receiver 3 when somebody went down. If he starts off wide receiver 3 and Addison goes down, now he's number 2. That's probably not a strong situation.
No.
So I do think with Thielen, there was some intention there because he's in Minnesota. He's got to know a lot of people, some college quarterbacks, some guys that already played college. They can still throw the ball. He could have found somebody else to do the workouts with. But no, he went to the Vikings, new golden boy and future of the franchise. Went out there with him, recording it, and posted it himself.
Let's say this about it. Adam Thielen is a Viking, and he will always be a Viking. No
Unless Lowe's here, then no. I'm not
He's a Viking, man. Let's be honest.
I will say this. I kind of miss those red zone touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, like if we can get him back at a reasonable price, not giving up a lot of draft capital, like I'm saying, a 6th rounder next year or 2 years from now, a 6th rounder, just something to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like we can do a Cam Akers trade. It's like, okay, we'll give you a 5th rounder next year, but he has to get 2,000 receiving yards.
Right.
I mean, that's just kind of the way the
1999, buddy, your ankle's getting tore up.
Hey, we'll do him like Zimmer did Adrian Peterson. Oh, it's time for you to sit, pal. About to break that record? I don't think so. We're a defensive team. We don't need that around us. Adam needs to learn to turn off his wife's Twitter, Robbie says.
Oh, I agree, Robbie.
Robbie.
I hope Robbie's wife doesn't see him talking about wives like that. So, yeah, I mean, that's just a little speculation. It's jumping out. I mean, it's late June. There's not a lot going on. But I don't know. I feel like there could be something to it. I'm not saying that the Vikings have interest, but I do think that Thielen might be kind of trying to knock at the window. Hey, I know you got a boyfriend, but we did have a good time together. So we'll see what's up with that.
You know, I didn't really like her anyway. I'm thinking about leaving her over this, to be honest. What she did really wasn't right.